Hey friends, Natalie here, and it's time for another episode of Dust Bunnies with my friend Kira from Kira Gets Crafty. I have these hilarious photos of my boys. I want to tell a funny story about them. So I chose the 6x6 paper pad Wild Child by Pink Paisley. It's a few years old. It's a lot of bright colors, and so I am going to use that as an inspiration starting point for my page. So I have this funny story of my kids. They were drawing themselves with chalk. There's something about a butt print. So I decided that it would be fun to take these photos and kind of it's almost like a grid layout. It's kind of like a diagram as well. So it's a diagram, and so the title is going to be Anatomy of a Boy Brain. I'm just going to use the different segments of the diagram to tell a quick story about this event and them funny, and it's just how their little brains work and how funny they are. So I'm just going through the paper pad, and I die a couple of fussy cuts there, and then I pick a few of the pattern papers to start creating clusters. I also go through this die cut pack from Pink Fresh. This is the So Cool, I think is what it was called, collection, a few collections back. Really great. I love their sentiments. And it's crisp and white, which is the same colors as the Wild Child collection. So they went really well together. So I pull out a bunch of things and I start going through another pack, and I pull out the word summer, and I'm like, whoa, look how many words there are on that. There's going to be no place for your eye to rest when you're looking through these clusters. So I take back the word summer and I start looking for icons only. Because at this point I have plenty of words, plenty of little phrases. I need just pictures. So off screen, I die cut some of the pattern papers into either tickets or those little pennants. I also have that tag, which was a die cut. That's going to be a base for one of the clusters as well. So this is the title I'm working on. Again, it's Anatomy of a Boy Brain. And I back the chartreuse, I think is the color you would call that, paper with some white cardstock, because it just helps it pop and be kind of like a scientific diagram. I feel like everything would have a really crisp, clear border. So for the photos, I'm going to put them in a cluster up there at the top, and I'm going to kind of tier them. So one photo is going to be popped, one's going to be flush with the paper, one is going to be flush, not flesh, that's weird. One is going to be pops up with that piece of foam, and then the other one's going to be popped up with two pieces of foam. And so it gives this really good dimension and tiered look, and it gives me, I don't know, kind of like a pie chart look where they have like those three-dimensional pie charts. I guess that's what we're going for here. I'm not sure what you can hear in the background, but I am on vacation and I'm sitting by like this babbling brook, and it's so peaceful. I told my boys to leave me alone, trying to get this voiceover done so I can go find some Wi-Fi and upload my video, because we are roughing it out here with no Wi-Fi. But yeah, so there is the title, and this is kind of what we're going with here. I'm going to make little clusters, and I think I end up with 6 clusters, which normally I do like to do a odd number, which technically if you counted the photos, it would be an odd number. It would be 7 clusters. So we'll go with that, because odd is always more pleasing to the eye and more balanced, really. So yeah, I'm just kind of like putting all the dies where I want the clusters to be. Those are little emoji dies that I'm not sure what company they're from. I've had them for a while. I'm going to use my T-square ruler to make sure I get my title straight. But I cut those emojis out with some yellow that wasn't really prevalent in the rest of the papers. So you'll see me try to add in a few stickers and things that will go with that as well. So now I'm just cutting string. And I think that I'm going to put it just through a hole in the middle of the page. And I was really wanting to use an eyelet. And I was like, well, my crocodile doesn't reach into the middle of the page. Why it didn't hit me that I could just put an eyelet in a die cut until I went and took a shower, because I have all my best ideas in the shower. So I had to stop this layout to take a shower, and I was in the shower and I was like, duh, I would just like do a cut out or some kind of die cut and put my eyelet on that, and that will hide that hole and be a great place. And you can pop it up and the strings can live under there, duh. Sometimes you just need to stop and take a shower if you're a little stuck. I always have my best ideas in the shower. That's what I tell Kira all the time. I'll be like, I was in the shower and I had a really great idea for the dilemma you're having. So speaking of Kira, make sure you pop over to her page today. She has a really fun layout as well. It's really gorgeous. So I'm going to link her channel down below. So make sure you check her out as well. So I'm just using the string and kind of hiding it under a popped up little section of journaling. And that's when I was like, oh, duh, I can put a die cut here. So I get my Crop-A-Dile out and I put a hole in it and I put an eyelet in it, and then I take my strings and I run them through there, and it just looks cleaner. It looks kind of like more of the look I was going for, as like a diorama diagram. And again, I can pop up either side of that die cut and all the strings can live under it happily ever after. So those little So to introduce more of that yellow from the emojis, I put yellow backing around all of the journaling, and they're just itty bitty little journaling squares that I printed off my printer, and it says different parts of a boy brain, but it also tells the story of what was happening. So in the close-up shots and my cherry on top gallery, I'll make sure to link that down below, because you will be able to see those better in those close-up shots. So there you can see I have 3 of the strings through that bottom piece there, and then I'll put 3 through the top piece as well. And that's just an old, I actually think that, I don't know, that's another old Pink Fresh Studio paper. It just had a little scrap of it and it matched the collection. It had those pinks and oranges, so I chose to do that. So you can see my strings sticking out. I'm just going to use the tip of my scissors to kind of tuck them under there, which is what I'm doing here. And so I've built up the clusters with the bases of the pattern paper and the journaling. I'm going to go through and continue to embellish. And yeah, it ends up kind of busy, but it's a fun page. It's a different type of page for me. So I thought about leaving that as a tassel, but then I'm like, no, calm down. It's already going to be busy. So it gets busy, but it's fun. So that's okay. Yeah, I'm loving how that looks, but it needs more. So I go and I grab like the cardstock stickers that are also, I think, from So Cool collection. And there's just so many good ones that go along with just being a boy and having fun and being silly, and even something about being at home. I just used a little label to anchor that, just to kind of make it pop a little more, give it a little something so it didn't blend in with the background. I had those black sunglasses on that emoji, so the emoji at the top has a tongue, and it doesn't have a separate cutout, but I made a separate cutout for its tongue, and I made it have a blue tongue because so many oftentimes my kids have blue tongues from eating crap, and they will be like, oh, look at my tongue, it's so blue. That's just another part of that boy brain. So layering things up on here makes it just have a lot of interest, gives some stickers some pop, and helps them stand out from the background. Obviously, I have a poop emoji. One of the parts of a boy brain is clearly bathroom humor, so duh. There's the blue tongue. I don't think they've seen this layout yet, but when they see it, they're going to love it. They're going to crack up again. My oldest, they were tracing each other on the pavement, and then they had been playing in the water, and he said, I bet if I get up, there's going to be a butt print here. And there was, and hilarity ensued. So I'm just going through, because I have clusters built, but I feel like some of them are falling flat. So I'm going through with some label stickers and just mushing them under. And that white in the label stickers, even though I'm adding to kind of the mayhem of these clusters, it gives your eye a place to rest because it's white. And so it's just like some negative space. And so that felt like that was needed, some more white in there. And I just had to basically tell myself to stop, because I could have kept adding to these clusters. And I thought about adding my essential jewels that I add to a lot of layouts. And I was like, stop, Natalie. Stop. You just need to stop. So I just go through and add just a couple of the Cocoa Vanilla little type phrase things. and I think we're done. So make sure to head over to Kira's YouTube channel and watch her build her layout. It's super cute, like I said, and I hope you're inspired to dust off some of those older paper pads or collections or anything older in your stash that you have and create a layout with it. Thanks for watching, y'all. Please like and subscribe. Bye.